Now we shall revise some of the Shabda Roopani and Dhaatu Roopani that we had learned, and let us try to recollect them and practice them further. Amita Bhargava, can you please recite the first Shabda?
Ram Ram Ram. Ikarantaha strilingaha ratri shabdaha ratri ratri
please, it is ikarantaha, not taha. Okay, so it is hraso only. Ikarantaha strilingaha ratri shabdaha. Okay, can you please repeat again?
Ikarantaha strilingaha ratri shabdaha ratri ratri ratrayaha he ratre he ratri he ratrayaha ratrim ratri ratrihi ratraya ratribhyam ratribhihi ratre ratrai ratribhyam ratribhyah ratrehe ratya ratrayaha ratribhyam ratribhyah ratrehe ratrayaha ratrayoho ratrinam ratrayam ratro ratrayoho ratrishu.
Uttamam, dhanyawadaha. So specifically when we are chanting or when we are trying to recite the three vibhaktis, that is from Chaturthi, Panchami and Shashti, and of course Saptami, there are two forms that we should remember, both the forms. That is one point. And while reciting the second form, it is basically a Sanyuktakshara which has been made out of Takara, Rakara, and that is Repha and Ya. Ya. Okay, so Ratri is again basically it's the first Sanyuktakshara with T and Repha, that is Ratri. Ratriya. Okay, while pronouncing it, we shouldn't evidently show these three letters individually. Ratriyai. Okay, and similarly Ratriyaha. Triya. Ratriyaha. We shouldn't say Ratriyaha or anything like that. So Ratriyaha, Ratriyaha, Ratriyoho in the same way. Ratriya. So Ratriyoho. So please practice in improvising the pronunciation. So wherever there is a Sanyuktaksharam, that Sanyuktaksharam should be told in the correct way. So because there is no gap between these letters, and there is no any swara that is coming in between, and hence these are Sanyuktaksharas, and the entire set or the group of the Sanyuktaksharas of the Vyanjanas should be pronounced together. Ratriyaha, etc. So please practice that. While any one of the student is chanting here, I request all of you to recite these shabdas loudly. Okay, though you may be on mute, it's fine, but only one student's voice will be heard. But all of us should recite these shabdas in our own places. Okay, next, Ramesh Reddy Mahodaya, please recite this shabda.
धन्यवादः महोदय. उकारान्तः पुंलिङ्गः शम्भु शब्दः शम्भुः शम्भु शम्भवः हे शम्भो हे शम्भु हे शम्भवः शम्भुं शम्भु शम्भून् शम्भुना शम्भुभ्यां शम्भुभिः शम्भवेः शम्भवे शम्भुभ्यां शम्भुभ्यः शम्भोः शम्भुभ्यां शम्भुभ्यः शम्भोः शम्भोः शम्भूनां शम्भौ शम्भोः शम्भुषु.
Dhanyawadaha. Well recited, but the key aspect is the bhakara is a mahaprana shabda. Right? Ukarantaha pullingaha shambhu shabdaha. Same way, shambhuna, shambhubhyam, shambhubhihi, shambhubhyaha, etc. And similarly, as I told for Ratri Shabda, here also the compound or the Sanyuktaksharam is based out of or made out of makara, bhakara, vakara. Shambhoho, Shambhoho. Anyway, you recited it well, but the bhakara mahaprana, it was something that was missing. So kindly practice the mahaprana or pay attention more towards mahaprana. Dhanyawadaha.
Dhanyawad.
Okay. So Praveen Kulkarni Mohoday, you can recite the next Shabda.
उकारान्तः स्त्रीलिङ्गः धेनुशब्दः धेनुः धेनु धेनवः हे धेनो हे धेनु हे धेनवः धेनुं धेनु धेनुः धेन्वा धेनुभ्यां धेनुभिः धेन्वै धेनवे धेनुभ्यां धेनुभ्यः धेन्वाः धेनोः धेनुभ्यां धेनुभ्यः धेन्वाः धेनोः धेन्वोः धेनूनां धेन्वां धेनौ धेन्वोः धेनुषु.
उत्तमं. धन्यवादाः. We'll go to the next one. Prakash Mohini Bhagini, can you recite the next Shabda?
नमस्ते. ओकारांता उभयलिंग गो शब्दः गौः गावौ गावः हे गौः हे गावौ हे गावः गां गावौ गाः गवा गोभ्यां गोभिः गवे गोभ्यां गोभ्यः गोः गोभ्यां गोभ्यः गोः गवोः गवां गवी गवोः गोषु.
उत्तमं. धन्यवादाः.
धन्यवादः.
Okay, we'll go to next. Jayalakshmi Bhagini.
नमो नमः. राम राम.
Namaste.
सकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः अधः शब्दः असौ अमो अमी अमुम् अमो अमून् अमुना अमोभ्याम् अमोभिः अमुष्मै अमोभ्याम् अमोभ्यः अमेभ्यः अमुष्मात् अमोभ्याम् अमेभ्यः अमुष्य अमयोः अमीषाम् अमुष्मिन् अमयोः अमीषु.
Uttamam. When do we use this other Shabda?
When we use this.
Right. This person, for example, here it's a pronoun. So Sakarantaha Pullingaha Adas Shabdaha is to say this person. Asau Ramaha. This person is Rama. Something like that. So yeah, Dhanyawadaha.
Dhanyawadaha.
Okay, next Jyotilakshmi Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय. सकारान्तः स्त्रीलिङ्गः अदत् शब्दः असौ अमु अमूः अमूम् अमू अमूः अमुया अमूभ्याम् अमूभिः अमुष्यै अमूभ्याम् अमूभ्यः अमुष्याः अमूभ्याम् अमूभ्यः अमुष्याः अमुयोः अमूषाम् अमुष्याम् अमुयोः अमूषु. इयं शब्द एव.
सत्यं. धन्यवादाः.
धन्यवादः.
Okay, Jayalakshmi Bhagini.
नमो नमः. राम राम. सकारान्तः नपुंसकलिङ्गः अधः शब्दः अधः अमु अमू अमूनि अधः अमु अमूनि अमुना अमोभ्याम् अमीभिः अमुष्मै अमोभ्याम् अमीभ्यः अमुष्मात् अमोभ्याम् अमीभ्यः अमुष्य अमयोः अमीषाम् अमुष्मिन् अमयोः अमीषु.
उत्तमं. धन्यवादाः. Okay, next Gayatri Bhagini.
राम राम सर.
राम राम राम.
मकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः इदं शब्दः अयम् इमौ इमे इमम् एनम् इमौ एनौ इमान् एनान् अनेन एनेन आभ्याम् एभिः अस्मै आभ्याम् एभ्यः अस्मात् आभ्याम् एभ्यः अस्य अनयोः एनयोः एषाम् अस्मिन् अनयोः एनयोः एषु.
उत्तमं. धन्यवादाः.
धन्यवाद.
Next one. It is named as Jayatu Sanskritam. can you please tell your name and then start reciting it?
नमो नमः मम नाम जयकुञ्जः अस्ति
Nikunja.
राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः मकारान्त स्त्रीलिंग इदं शब्दः यम इमे इमाः इमाम एमाम इमाम एनाम इमे एने इमाः एनाः अनया एनया आभ्याम आभिः अस्यै आभ्याम आभ्यः अस्याः आभ्याम आभ्यः अस्याः अनयोः एनयोः आसाम् अस्याम् अनयोः एनयोः आसु धन्यवाद
Uttamam. Dhanyawadaha. Next, someone has named as Acer. I'm not sure. Please tell your name and please recite the Shabda.
My name is Gansham. Ram Ram Modaya.
Ram Ram Ram.
Makarantaha napuslinga idam shabdaha idam ime imani idam enat enat ime ene imani enani anena enena abhyam ebihi asme abhyam ebhyah asmat abhyam ebhyah asya anayoho enayoho esham अस्मिन् अनयोः एनयोः एषु
Uttamam. Dhanyawadaha.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Okay. Next, Haresh Deshpande Mahodaya. You can recite the next Shabda.
नमस्कार महोदय. तकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः भवत् शब्दः भवान् भवन्तौ भवन्तः प्रथमा भवन्तं भवन्तौ भवन्तः द्वितीया भवता भवद्भ्यां भवद्भिः तृतीया भवते भवद्भ्यां भवद्भ्यः चतुर्थी भवतः भवद्भ्यां भवद्भ्यः पंचमी भवतः भवतोः भवतां षष्ठी भवती भवतोः भवत्सु सप्तमी हे भवन् हे भवन्तौ हे भवन्तः संबोधनम्. धन्यवाद.
Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Pranaya Mishra.
नमस्कार. भवती भवत्यौ भवत्यः. Oh, from the beginning. ईकारान्तः स्त्रीलिङ्गः भवती शब्दः भवती भवत्यौ भवत्यः हे भवती हे भवत्यौ हे भवत्यः भवती भवत्यौ भवतीः भवत्या भवतीभ्यां भवतीभिः भवत्यै भवतीभ्यां भवतीभ्यः भवत्याः भवतीभ्यां भवतीभ्यः भवत्याः भवत्योः भवतीनां भवत्यां भवत्योः भवतीषु.
Uttamam. Dhanyawadaha. Nataraj Mahodaya, you can tell the next one.
सकारांत नपुंसकलिंग तपस्शब्दः तपः तपसि तपांसि हे तपः हे तपसि हे तपांसि तपः तपसि तपांसि तपसा तपोभ्यां तपोभिः तपसे तपोभ्यां तपोभ्यः तपसत् तपोभ्यां तपोभ्यः तपसत् तपसोः तपसां तपसि तपसोः तपस्सु 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 तपस्सु.
The pronunciation is the same. Pronunciation is the same. Only the writing way is. So, dhanyawadaha.
धन्यवाद.
Okay. We have covered most of the shabdas. So, of course, there are a few more shabdas that are there, like the ikarantaha hari shabdaha. Then we have ikarantaha napumsakalingaha vari shabdaha, etc. We shall revise those shabdas, the remaining set of shabdas, and also rikaranta and so on in the next class. Now we shall try to revise some of the Dhaatu Roopani that we had learned so far. So request all the students to raise your hands, and especially those who haven't got a chance at all so far. And of course, those who have got a chance also, please do raise your hands. So no issues. I shall call out your names, and we shall revise these Kriyapada Roopani and we shall make one sentence using these kriyapadas. So you can choose whichever shabda that you want. That is whether you want to use say for example here braviti or bravimi, etc., and accordingly use a pronoun or any different namapada, a noun form, and along with it try to make that sentence. So aham vakyam bravimi, or if you want to say Shri Krishnaha Geetam Praviti, etc. So at least have 3 to 4 words in the sentence. So think about it. Think about it upfront about which namapada you want to use and what should be the karma pada if it is a sakarmaka dhatu, and which one, whether ekavachanam, dvivachanam, or bahuvachanam you want to choose to frame the sentence. So all the students who have raised your hands, please be ready with these. So once you recite the Shabda, I mean the Dhaatu Roopani, please tell one sentence. So that will be very important. Okay. So Chandrarekha Bhagini, please start with Brumi Vaktayam Vachi.
Yes, sir. Bru dhatuhu vardhaman kalah lat lakarah braviti ah brutah ahtuhu bruvanti ahuhu bravishi athah brutah athuhu brutah bravimi bruvah brumah guruhu upamanyum braviti.
Uttamam. Guruhu upamanyum braviti. Very good. You can also say upamanyum. You can give one more word, like what will he tell, like kim braviti if you ask a question. So you can say Upanishad Vakyam Braviti or something like that. You can add on more words to it. But yeah, the best sentence.
Dugdam ma peba iti braviti.
Very good, very good. Uttamam.
Guruhu upamanyum dugdam ma peba iti braviti.
Correct, perfect.
Thank you.
Dhanyawad. Okay, next one, Harin Mehta Mahodaya.
Mahodaya. Bru dhatuhu bhutakalah langlakaraha abravit abrutam abruvan abravihi abrutam abruta abravam abruva abruma.
One important note, for any of the langlakara dhatus, like whenever we say langlakara, the akara is part of the entire word. So we don't have to show that and then the actual part of the dhatu or something like that, because the kriyapada is formed with akara. So abravit, abrutam, abruvan. So there should be no gap in between and the remaining portion of that dhatu. So abravit, abravihi. So that way that's not the right way to pronounce it. It is completely abravit is one word. So abravit, abrutam, abruvan. Similarly, abravam, abruva, abruma. So most of the students think since it is langlakara, akara is being added, and to show that most of the times we say akara and then give a very small pause and then we'll tell the remaining part of it. So that should be avoided in general. And abruva, abruma, I think you did not tell the dirgha correctly. So that is one more important point that you can practice further. Okay, yeah, you can frame one sentence now.
Amadya. Shri Krishnaha Arjunaya Geetam Abravit.
Very good. Shri Krishnaha Arjunaya Geetam Abravit. Very good. So Arjunam Geetam Abravit, Arjunaya Geetam Abravit. Both sentences are correct. So that we can consider. Dhanyawadaha.
Dhanyawadaha.
Okay. Next, Nikunj.
Namo Namaha. Shru Shravane Shru Dhatuhu Vartaman Kalah Latlakarah Shunoti Shunutaha Shunvanti Shunoshi Shunutha Shunutha Shunomi Shunvaha Shunuvaha Shunumaha Shunumaha. Aham.
Very good.
Adhyapakasya Upadesham Shunomi.
Very good. Aham Adhyapakasya Upadesham Shunomi. Dhanyawadaha. Na kevalam shrotavyam param kartavyam api.
Dhanyawadaha.
On a lighter note. So So a very good sentence. So aham adhyapakasya vachanam athava upadesham shrunomi. I will listen to the adhyapaka's order or his words. So that is very important. So in any whenever you are learning something, whatever is the teacher saying, you will have to follow that, because from that it is for your benefit and your progress. So as always, I will again repeat the same thing. So what you should do, or what is my advice, is to practice these Shabda Roopani, Dhaatu Roopani on a daily basis, so that you can remember and memorize these Shabda Roopas, and you will be able to recollect and use it in sentences spontaneously. That means to say, you shouldn't think too much to understand or to come up with what exact word we should use. If you are tvam shrunoshi, it should automatically come, and it should not be shrunoti, shrunataha, shrunvanti, shrunoshi. Tvam shrunoshi. So that should be the spontaneity, at least like say tau shrunataha. Immediately you should be able to get the dvivachara form of that particular dhatu. So that should be the level that we should all reach to. So that means to say we require very good amount of practice of these Shabda Roopani and Dhatu Roopani. We shall proceed further. Leena Bhagini.
राम राम हाँ श्रु श्रवणे श्रु धातुः भूतकालः लङ् लकारः अशृणोत् अशृणुताम् अशृण्वन् अशृणोः अशृणुतम् अशृणुत अशृण्वम् अशृणुव अशृणुव अशृण्व अशृणुम् अशृण्म
Ashrunuma. Okay. Yeah.
अशृणुम अशृण्म.
Yes. Can you frame a sentence? Okay, first maybe tell in English, and then I'll help you out to get it.
Yeah. Today in the morning I heard Bhaj Govindam. Is that okay?
Yeah, in general, yeah. Bhutakala, that is basically this lang lakara should be used for whatever has, I mean, any action that has happened yesterday or before. Because this is grammatically speaking, lang lakara should be used for anadyatana bhuta, which has not happened today. Okay, whatever is yesterday and before, that is when we should use lang lakara. So for your case, what you can do is hyaha, aham hyaha, and you can continue further.
Okay. Yah aham gitopadesh ashrunavam.
Gitopadesham ashrunavam.
Yeah, okay. Yah aham gitopadesham ashrunavam.
Very good, very good. Yesterday I heard the Gitopadesha. Very good. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavada.
Okay, so we'll proceed further. This is one of the dhatu that we had learned earlier. Rajini Bhagini, can you please read out the forms?
दो धातु वर्तमान कालः लट् लकारः दोग्धि दुग्धः दुहन्ति धोक्षि दुग्धः दुग्धः धोमि दुहवः दुहुमः.
Uttamam. So domhi dumhaha. So usually
dumhaha. Yeah, sorry. Dumhaha.
Traditional pronunciation is this. Yeah.
Dumhaha.
Yes, please.
Tvam gam dhokshi.
Very good. Tvam gam dhokshi. Very good. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavada.
Okay. Next, Gopal Krishnan Mahodaya.
Ram Ram Mahodaya. Drish Dhatuhu Vartamana Kalaha Lat Lakaraha Pashyati Pashyataha Pashyanti Pashyasi Pashyataha Pashyatha Pashyami Pashyavaha Pashyamaha.
A sentence.
Aham Suryodayam Pashyami.
Very good. Aham Suryodayam Pashyami. Very good. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavada.
Okay. Next, we will see another one. Pranaya Mishra.
महोदय। दृश् धातुः वर्तमान कालः भाव कर्मणोः लट् लकारः दृश्यते दृश्येते दृश्यन्ते दृश्यसे दृश्येथे दृश्यध्वे दृश्ये दृश्यावहे दृश्यामहे.
Very good.
I'm now sentence. Okay.
Yes.
So Induhu Ratre Gagane Drishyate.
Okay. Fine. That is a good sentence. Induhu Ratrau Gagane.
Oh, Ratrau. Sorry, not Ratre. Yeah. Ratrau Gagane Drishyate.
Very good. Okay. Yes, that is correct. So what is that is assumed in this sentence? Can you tell that? Like who sees, or the moon is seen by whom?
By all of us.
Yes.
Because
So,
it's a passive voice, I think.
Perfect. That is right. So that's what, yes,
yeah.
that's what I wanted to explain. So that's why I asked the question specifically. So the moon is seen in the night by us or by people. Anything it can be. So Dhanyavada. Very good sentence, Mahodaya.
Thank you. Dhanyavada.
Okay, so let us try to understand a bit further. I just want to explain and recall whatever we had learned about this usage in passive voice. So one thing to note is drish dhatuhu, that is the pashyati, etc., the forms that we saw in the previous slide, is basically a parasmaipadi dhatu. So parasmaipadi dhatu will manifest, or the forms will be in parasmaipadi only. So pashyati, pashyataha, pashyanti, etc., those are the only forms. And drish dhatu is a parasmaipadi dhatu. But when we are using the same dhatu in the passive voice, which is called as a karmani prayoga in Sanskritam or a bhave prayoga, do not worry about what is the difference between bhave and karmani, etc. You can consider it as passive voice for now. That is sufficient. So whenever we use in a passive voice, what will happen for any dhatu, this is the general rule. Whether it is parasmaipadi or atmanepadi or whatever it is, any dhatu, when it is used in the passive voice, two things happen. One is, to the dhatu, there is one yakara that gets added. Okay, there is a yakara that gets added to the dhatu. That is the first step. The next thing, what happens is, the dhatu will become like a atmanepadi. Please note, for our understanding, for our reference, I'm saying it as it becomes like a atmanepadi dhatu. That means to say the forms will be like that of any other atmanepadi dhatu. But the dhatu itself is still parasmaipadi only. But only thing is the usage is in passive voice, and hence these transformations has happened on the dhatu. Just know this information, that is sufficient, because someone, if say for example, another example I will give is shakyate. Okay, shakyate is actually the passive voice form. So it is not a atmanepadi dhatu. Okay, shaknoti is basically is a parasmaipadi dhatu only. But since it is used in the passive voice, you get that shak is the dhatu. There's a yakara that gets added, and then it acts like, or it becomes like a atmanepadi, and the forms are so. So that is how any other dhatu also. For example, pathati, pat is the dhatu, plus yakara, add a ya, pathya, and then use atmanepadi form similar to labhate or anything like that. So then we get the forms like pathyate, pathyate, pathyante. So Ramaha patham pathati is the active voice sentence. Rama reads the lesson. Now Ramena pathaha pathyate. The lesson is being read by Rama. So that will be in the passive voice. So for any dhatu that you have come across, to get the equivalent or the passive voice form, what you should do, consider the dhatu as in whatever we see here. Okay, after removing all the other extra letters, etc., after various process, we get the simplified dhatu form. So on top of the dhatu form add a yakara, and then write the forms similar to any atmanepadi dhatu. So that's how the forms will become. Okay. So there are some certain changes. For example, kru dhatu karoti is there. So when it becomes or when we use it in passive voice, it becomes kriyate. Okay. So it will not be kru is there, and then so after that you will add yakara and something. What will happen? You may have that question, but it will become kriyate. So for some of them it will be a bit different based on various other grammar rules. So, but general thing is yakara gets added and it becomes like a atmanepadi dhatu whenever we use in passive voice. So this information, if you know, it's more than sufficient. Okay, we'll proceed further. Yeah. Okay. Praveen Kulkarni Mahodaya.
गमलगतौ गमधातुः भूतकालः लङ्लकारः अगच्छत् अगच्छताम् अगच्छन् अगच्छः अगच्छतम् अगच्छत अगच्छम् अगच्छाव अगच्छाम वयं शृङ्गेरीम् अगच्छाम.
Very good. Vayam Shringerim Agachama. We went to Shringeri. We all went to Shringeri. Dhanyavadaha. Okay, that's correct. So, so now I'll just add one more point to the discussion that we just did in the previous slide. So for Lang Lakara, how will the passive voice forms be? If you ask a question, it's same again the same way. For Gam Dhatu, for example, we will take. So Gachati, for that the passive voice is Gamyate. Okay. Now, since now the new dhatu that you can consider is like Gamya will become like the new dhatu, similar to Labha, Lab dhatu. Labhate, Labhete, Labhante, Gamyate, Gamyete, Gamyante. Same way, when we look at it in the Lang Lakara, what will happen? Alabhata, Alabhetam, Alabhanta. Same way, Agamyata, Agamyetam, Agamyanta. So that's how it will be. So you can think that the new dhatu that you are considering is Gamya and so on. So just that I just wanted to give that information to you all. Okay, we'll proceed further. Arun Mahodaya.
Namaste Mahodaya. Namaste Mahodaya.
Yes, please continue.
Asubhuvi asdhatuh bhutakalah langlakaraha आसीत आस्ताम आसन आसीहि आस्तम आस्ता आसम आस्व आस्मा.
Uttamam. A sentence, please.
Asit. Sorry, I can't.
Any sentence is fine. Asit. So where was Rama there, or something like that? Your friend.
Ramaha Ayodhyam Asit.
Ayodhyayam Asit.
Ayodhyayam.
Yes, very good. Ayodhyayam Asit. Dhanyavadaha. Gansha Mahodaya, you can recite the next dhatu.
Ram Ram Mahodaya.
Ram Ram Ram.
Labdhatu bhutakalah lang lakaraha alabata alabhetam alabanta alabhetham alabadhvam alabhe alabavahi alabamahi.
Uttamam. Yeah, please make a sentence. So to obtain, labhate is to get or to obtain or something. Alabhata is he got something.
Tom he got something.
Yeah. Saha or
Tom
Rama.
alabata.
No. Tam alabhata means it will not be.
Tom alabataha. Tom alabataha.
Tvam alabhataha. Okay, very good. What? Tvam.
Tam alabataha.
Karmapada.
Bhojanam.
Very good. Tvam bhojanam alabhathaha. You got food. Very good. Uttamam. Dhanyawadaha.
Dhanyawada.
Next, yeah, Arun Mohodaya, can you tell the next one?
भूसत्तायां भूधातुः आज्ञार्थे प्रार्थनार्थे लोट् लकारः भवतु भवतात् भवतां भवन्तु भव भवतात् भवतं भवत भवानि भवाव भवाम सर्वे शुभं भवतु
सर्वेभ्यः शुभं भवतु
सर्वेभ्यः शुभं भवतु
सर्वेभ्यः शुभं भवतु उत्तमं धन्यवादाः let good happen to all okay shubham is good mangalam etc so sarvebhyah for all so let good happen to everyone or for all okay next Jyotilakshmi Bhagini
नमस्ते महोदय दृशे प्रेक्षणे दृश् धातुः आज्ञार्थे प्रार्थनार्थे लोट् लकारः पश्यतु पश्यतात् पश्यतां पश्यन्तु पश्य पश्यतात् पश्यतं पश्यत पश्यानि पश्याव पश्याम
उत्तमं सेंटेंस
अद्य अहं चलनचित्रं पश्यामि
पश्यानि उत्तमम् अद्य अहं चलचित्रं पश्यामि उत्तमं धन्यवादाः ओके नेक्स्ट जयश्री भगिनी
नमस्ते सेम धातु अस भूवि अस धातु आज्ञार्थे प्रार्थनार्थे लोट् लकारः अस्तु स्तात् स्तां सन्तु एधि स्तात् स्तं स्त असानि असाव असाम सर्वे सुखिनः सन्तु
सर्वे सुखिनः सन्तु उत्तमं very good धन्यवादाः
धन्यवादः
okay so others please raise your hand so that I can call out your name for the next set of dhatus we have a few more and then we shall discuss further Rajamatangi Bhagini you can yes
करोतु दुकृं करणे कृ धातुः आज्ञार्थे प्रार्थनार्थे लोट् लकारः करोतु कुरुता कुरुतां कुर्वन्तु कुरु कुरुतात् कुरुतं कुरुत करवाणि करवाव करवाम त्वं देवं त्वम् इदानीं देवं नमस्कुरु
त्वम् इदानीं देवं नमस्कुरु is fine त्वम् इदानीं गृहकार्यं कुरु or anything like that for tvam uttamam dhanyawadaah okay next Harin Mehta Mohdaya you can tell the next one
Mohdaya, can you hear me now?
yes
okay kru dhatuh bhutakalah langlakarah akarot akurutam akurvan akaroho akurutam akuruta akaravam akurva akurma if I would like to say Ramah Ravanasya vadam akarot, how would I say that?
You told it already. Ramah Ravanasya vadam akarot. That's the right sentence.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Ravanasya vadam. So the killing of Ravana. So Rama did the killing of Ravana. Ramah Ravanasya vadam akarot.
Akarot. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Dhanyawadaah. Okay. Good. Next. Sitaraman Mohdaya.
दुर्लभंश प्राप्तौ लप् धातुः आज्ञार्थे प्रार्थनार्थे लोट् लकारः लपतां लपेतां लपन्तां लपस्व लपेतां लपध्वं लफै लफावहै लफामहै वयं सर्वे संपत्ति लभावहै।
हाँ, वयं सर्वे संपदम अथवा अस्तु, we can also take संपत्तिः अस्तु, संपत्तिं लभामहे, उत्तमं. Let us all get the wealth. Good. धन्यवादाः. That's a good sentence.
धन्यवादः.
Okay. Next, ज्योतिलक्ष्मी भगिनी.
हाँ महोदय. सेव धातुः वर्तमानकालः लट् लकारः. सेवते, सेवेते, सेवन्ते, सेवसे, सेवेथे, सेवध्वे, सेवे, सेवावहे, सेवामहे. वयं सर्वे गुरुं सेवामहे.
वयं सर्वे गुरुं सेवामहे. उत्तमं. धन्यवादाः.
धन्यवादः.
ओके. नेक्स्ट, प्रकाश मोहिनी भगिनी.
नमो नमः.
नमस्ते.
सेव धातुः भूतकालः लङ् लकारः. असेवत, असेविताम्, असेवन्त, असेवथा, असेवेथाम्, असेवध्वन्, असेवे, असेवावहि, असेवामहि. We serve God.
हाँ, a sentence.
वयं मंदिरं सेवामहि.
वयं मंदिरं असेवामहि. Okay. So we served the temple.
We serve in the temple.
Okay. If you want to say in the temple, then mandire. Mandire.
Sorry. Yeah. Mandire. Yeah.
Or so mandiram aseva. I wouldn't say it's wrong because I served the temple. You can go there to maybe
in the temple. Serve in the temple.
Yeah. So serve in the, then in that case we will have to tell mandire. That is the right way. Dhanyawada.
Dhanyawad.
Okay. Raj Matangi Bhagini.
राम 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 महोदय. शेव्रु सेवने सेव धातुः आज्ञार्थे प्रार्थनार्थे लोट् लकारः. सेवतां, सेवेतां, सेवन्तां, सेवस्व, सेवेथां, सेवध्वं, सेवै, सेवावहै, सेवामहै. वयं गुरुं सेवामहै.
Very good. Vayam gurum sevamahai. Okay. Dhanyawada.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Okay. So hope framing the sentences is helping you to understand what like how we should tell, etc. So please do practice framing more and more sentences. That's the only way we will be able to kind of understand and practically use whatever we are learning. Okay. Amita Bhargava.
नमस्ते. ईश धातुः वर्तमानकालः लट् लकाराः. ईक्षते, ईक्षेते, ईक्षन्ते, ईक्षसे, ईक्षेथे, ईक्ष्वध्वे, ईक्षे, ईक्षावहे, ईक्षामहे. Ikshate means to see?
Yes, to see. So basically we have many dhatus for the same action, like pashyati is also to see, and ikshate is there, and then lokayati, look, there's one more dhatu called look. So in English also look is to see, right? So look is a dhatu which is there. So alokaha, lokaha, etc. we have these words. So these are based on the dhatu look. Etc. Just for your information. Yeah. Now you can frame a sentence.
Aham devalayam devam ikshe.
Devalaye devam ikshe. I see the god in the temple. Okay. Uttamam. Dhanyawadaha. So devaha tu sarvatra asti. Ataha asmabhi king kartavyam. Vayam devam sarvatra ikshamahe. Let us all see the God in everything and everywhere that we see and anything. Yeah. So we'll go to the next one. So it is Sandhya Bhagini. Can you please read out the forms?
हरि ओम महोदय ईक्ष दर्शने
ईक्ष धातुः भूतकालः
लङ्लकारः ऐक्षत ऐक्षेताम् ऐक्षेताम् ऐक्षन्त ऐक्षतः ऐक्षेताम् ऐक्षध्वम् ऐक्षे ऐक्षावहे ऐक्षामहे
मही ऐक्षावहि ऐक्षामहि. One sentence.
वयं ह्यः क्रिकेट् स्पर्धाम् ऐक्ष्यन्तः.
ऐक्षामहि वयं खलु.
वयम् ऐक्षामहि.
अथवा जनाः ह्यः पल्लक्रीडाम् ऐक्षन्त. You can say or कन्दुकक्रीडाम् ऐक्षन्त. So anyway we can.
बल्लक्रीडा इत्युक्ते क्रिकेट्.
Yes. Anything. Yeah,
with that.
Yes.
Okay. धन्यवाद महोदय.
Okay. So it is again the Langlakara, the Bhutakala form. And yesterday, so yesterday or before, Gata Saptahe Aham Chalachitram Aikshe. I saw a movie last week. And Gata Saptahe, or say Gata Mase, the last month. Gata Mase Aham Cricket Spardham Athava Phallak Kridam Aikshe. Something like that. We can make a few sentences based on that. Okay, so we'll see it one more. Jayalakshmi Bhagini.
ईक् धातुः ईक्ष् धातुः आज्ञार्थे प्रार्थनार्थे लोट् लकारः ईक्षताम् ईक्षेताम् ईक्षन्ताम् ईक्षस्व ईक्षेताम् ईक्षध्वम् ईक्षै ईक्षावहै ईक्षामहै. ते गुरुम् ईक्षन्ताम्.
Okay. Let them see the Guru. Okay. Uttamam. Dhanyavadah.
धन्यवादः.
Okay. So we'll see a few more in the Litlakara. So which we had learned. So we'll just kind of try to remember them. Leena Bhagini.
राम राम राम. भूसत्तायां भूधातुः भविष्यकालः लुट् लकारः भविष्यति भविष्यतः भविष्यन्ति भविष्यसि भविष्यथः भविष्यथ भविष्यामि भविष्यावः भविष्यामः.
Uttamam. A sentence.
त्वं उत्तमं बालकः भविष्यसि.
त्वं उत्तमं
गुणी
it is Prathama Bhakti only will have used there. So त्वं उत्तमः बालकः भविष्यसि or त्वं गुणी भविष्यसि or anything like that.
त्वं गुणी भविष्यसि.
Yes, that's fine. So but it will be in Prathama Bhakti only, not in Dvitiya Bhakti.
हाँ.
Okay.
धन्यवाद.
Sure. धन्यवाद. Okay, so this is the Littakara, Bhavishyat Kala. So one more of the Atmanepadit Dhatu, let us see. Pranaya Mishra.
Ram Ram Mahodaya.
Ram Ram Ram.
So every Sevane, Sev Dhatuhu, Bhavishyat Kalaha, Lutlakalaha. Sevishyate, Sevishyete, Sevishyante. Sevishyase, Sevishyathe, Sevishyadve. Sevishye, Sevishyavahe, Sevishyamahe.
One sentence.
Aham mam guru sevishye.
Aham mama gurum sevishye. Uttamam. Dhanyavadah. Next, NSL Narasimhan Mahodaya. Can you please recite the next Dhaatu Roopani?
नमो नमः महोदय.
Namaste.
लप्स्यते लप् धातुः भविष्यकालः लट् लकारः लप्स्यते लप्स्येते लप्स्यन्ते लप्स्येसे लप्स्येते लप्स्यद्वे लप्स्ये लप्स्यामहे लप्स्यामहे
So this is to obtain. Someone will get something in the future. So you can say Ramaha Sitam Lapsyate or something like that. So it's already happened, but something like this, or whenever you want to give an assurance or something like that.
Yeah.
Or tell the sentence in English. I shall help you translate it, or I'll help you in some sentence.
If you do well, you will obtain success.
Okay, so we will try to slightly modify that sentence. If you read well, then you will get good marks. Okay, I mean it's the same thing, but okay. So if you want to say that way, let us see. Yadi tvam samyak patishyasi. Okay, you because you are saying tvam, right? So yadi tvam samyak patishyasi, then tarhi uttamam ankam lapsyase. Then you will get good marks.
Good marks.
Yeah. So that way you can tell the sentence. Okay.
Anyway.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Malasvi, can you tell the next forms?
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
Shluk Shaktau Shakdatuhu Vartaman Kalaha Lat Lakaraha Shaknoti Shaknutaha Shaknuvanti Shaknoshi Shaknutaha Shaknutha Shaknomi Shaknuvaha Shaknumaha.
Very good. Shaknoti is capable of, is can do, or something like that.
Aham Sanskritam Patitum Shaknomi.
Very good. Aham Sanskritam Patitum Shaknomi. Very good sentence. And you're able to read as well. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So we'll go to the next, maybe the Lang Lakara and the Bhavishyat Kala of the same Dhaatu, and then we shall see next. Let me call out a few new names. So Annapurna Bhagini.
नमो नमः महोदय।
Namaste.
शक् धातुः भूतकालः लङ्लकारः अशक्नोत् अशक्नुताम् अशक्नुवन् अशक्नोः अशक्नुतम् अशक्नुत अशक्नवम् अशक्नुव अशक्नुम। कार्यकर्तारः कार्याणि अशक्नुवन्।
Karyani kartum ashaknuvan. So because we'll have to use that intention or something like that, like tumunanta avliya or something. So that will give the I mean that will full kind of complete the meaning or the sentence. So
कार्यकर्तारः देशस्य कार्याणि कर्तुम् अशक्नुवन्.
Very good. Karyakartaraha, say the social workers or something like that, were able to do the work of the country, or deshasya karyam, so something related to the country. So good sentence. Dhanyawadaha.
Dhanyawadaha Mahoday.
Okay. Next, Indu Bhagini, can you tell the next, read out the next forms? Indu Bhagini, if you are, if you can unmute and speak, Okay, let me call out Rama Bhagini.
Namaste.
Okay. Yes. Indu Bhagini. Yes, you can proceed.
षड् धातुः आज्ञार्थे प्रार्थनार्थे लोट् लकारः शक्नोतु शक्नुतात् शक्नुतां शक्नुवन् शक्नुवन्तु शक्नुहि शक्नुतात् शक्नुतं शक्नुत शक्नुवानि शक्नुवाव शक्नुवाम.
Very good.
धन्यवाद. शक्नोतु भवान् शक्नोतु. Let him do the work.
Yes. He that will be the meaning.
Bhavan. Saha.
Bhavan is you. You will be able to do the work. Okay.
Bhavan karyam kartum shaknotu. Karyam kartum shaknotu.
Yes, that is right. Bhavan karyam kartum shaknotu. Tvam karyam kartum shaknuhi. Aham karyam kartum shaknavami. Okay. So all these. Okay. Dhanyawadaha.
Dhanyawadaha.
Okay. Next, Rama Bhagini. The last one you can read out.
Namaste, Namaste ji.
Namaste.
शक् धातुः भविष्यकालः लट् लकारः शक्यति शक्यतः शक्यन्ति शक्यसि.
One second. It is shakshyati. K, sh, and yeah. So
शक्ष्यसि शक्ष्यतः शक्ष्यन्ति शक्ष्यसि शक्ष्यतः शक्ष्यत शक्ष्यामि शक्ष्यावः शक्ष्यामः.
उत्तमम्.
वयं गृहकार्यं सम्यक् कर्तुं शक्यामः. शक्ष्यामः.
Yes, uttamam. We all are capable of doing, or we shall be capable of doing the homework. Griha karyam kartum shikshyamah. Okay, dhanyawadaha. So good. So I think this revision helped in a way that to remember and revise all the Shabda Rupas, or not all, I would say most of the Shabda Rupas and the Dhaatu Rupas that we had learned so far in Dvitiya. There are a few more which we haven't covered, but we shall revise it again in the upcoming class.